Hi, my name is Ashley Clarke with Earthkeeper Yoga, and I welcome you to a gentle yoga practice. As you can tell, well, if you've been practicing with me at all for the last year or so, I am in a different place. And so that's a little teaser for you for future announcements that are just around the corner. So make sure that you subscribe and maybe follow along with me on social media at Earthkeeper Yoga on both Instagram and Facebook. And you can find out more about what these little teasers are all about. Before we do continue, I did promise just a little bit of celebratory news, so I wanted to show you. I just graduated with my 500-hour yoga teacher training, so that's an advanced level of training, and those are gifts and abilities that I get to in turn share with you, which is why I do what I do. So I welcome any comments, feedback about what's going right for you right now. Leave it in the comments. Let me know about certain things that you'd like for me to offer as we move forward. And for today, I invite you to grab your trusty blanket or beach towel, as well as a couple of blocks, and I'll meet you right here on the mat. All right, sweet friends, as we get ready for our class today, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and come down onto your back. So we're going to keep those knees bent. We're just going to roll right down onto our backs, and then we're going to make sure that the chin is level with the shoulders. So if you were to imagine an equal sign, the top line of the equal sign is your chin, and the bottom line of the equal sign is your shoulders. So everything's nice in alignment. There's space in the back of the neck, and we can just let the hands rest anywhere on the belly. Go ahead and let those shoulders relax. Maybe if you're feeling it, you could shimmy the feet out just a little bit, let the knees kind of fall in towards one another. And I invite you to close your eyes or find a soft gaze and just allow yourself a letting go breath. So nice and deep in through the nose, sighing it out through the mouth. Let everything just kind of feel as if it can just settle and be supported right here. And I invite you to just go ahead and check in with yourself. You don't have to change anything about the breath, nothing. Just check in with your physical body. How are you feeling today? Do things feel tight, soft? What's the stress level like today? I invite you to check in with your mental and emotional self. So how is that working for you today? We all have good days and bad days, good moments, bad moments. There's no right or wrong answer here. Just give yourself a moment to check in. And keeping that breath in and out through the nose, go ahead and check in with your breath. So how does it feel to take an inhale in? And how does it feel to exhale it all out? Continue to move just like this. Awareness to the breath. Moving in and out of your body. Maybe allowing each inhale and exhale to move just a little bit more deeply. So inhaling more air into the container that is you. And using that physical awareness and the awareness of your breath, how much can you exhale out of your body? And how does that help you soften in more places? Give yourself 4 more breaths right here. Notice the breath move through the belly, through the ribs, up towards the heart and the collarbones. And feeling it release completely. And give yourself 2 more. Fully release that. Exhale. Go ahead and bring your arms into a nice wide T. Even with the shoulders, let the palms face up towards the sky. Keep the shoulders relaxed. We're going to go ahead and lift those knees. They can come in towards the heart first and then extend all the way up towards the sky. Go ahead and circle those ankles. Point and flex the feet. Feel into the legs. Notice how much of your upper body, your upper back body is connected to the mat. Nice and soft here. Check the position of the chin again. And when you feel complete through the legs, go ahead and just let them be soft, up towards the sky, gentle bend in the knees. Nothing is really engaged. The legs are just lifted. Let's go ahead and lift the arms up so the fingertips can go towards the sky, and then intentionally let those shoulders come all the way back down towards the mat. Wiggle the fingers. Make fists and then jazz hands, really feeling into the wrists. Turning the palm down towards the inside of the wrist and then shining the palm up towards the sky. Just feeling into whatever is there in the hands. Take an inhale, come to stillness. And then exhale, let those arms open back into that T, controlling the movement, so trying not to flop down, no matter how inviting that may seem. And then we're going to bend these knees, let the soles of the feet come back to the mat. Make sure as much of your back is connected as possible, chin's in line with the shoulders. We'll take an inhale, lift the right leg up towards the sky, and then let it come and just cross over that right leg. And take a deep breath. And as you exhale, slowly let those knees fall over to the left just a little bit. That right foot, maybe just the ball of the foot, can act as a little kickstand. And you're just going to soften where you can, feeling into the outside of that right hip. Give yourself some deep breaths. And soften any tension on that left leg. Let it feel supported. Bring awareness to the sole of that left foot. Let's lift the knees back up towards the sky. Reach that right foot up towards the sky and then bend the right knee. Bring the sole of the foot back to the mat. Use your feet to lift up your pelvis and then line everything back up. Long spine all the way down the mat. Take an inhale, lift this left leg up towards the sky, and then we'll cross it right over that right leg. Same thing over to the right, so take a fresh breath. And then exhale, slow release. Let those knees fall over towards the right. Feeling into the outside of that left hip. Softening through the right leg. Big deep breaths. Beautiful. Send the knees back up towards the sky. Left leg reaches up and then comes back to the floor. Push into the feet to bring the pelvis back in line, long spine. And then we're going to let the knees fall all the way over to the right. Roll onto that right side body. Let this left hand come in contact with the floor. And you're just going to push yourself up, nice and gentle. Once you come to a seated position, I invite you to bring the legs out long in front of you. And we're going to pay a special attention to the spine. So we're going to press the tailbone into the floor, reach up, find the crown of the head reaching towards the sky. You've still got that equal sign going on with chin and shoulders. Fingertips, little Spider-Man fingertips right down on either side of the legs. Take an inhale, reach the arms up, and then exhale, settle the shoulders. Take an inhale, let this right hand come down outside of the right hip. Right elbow bends in towards the rib cage. Let the left fingertips reach away over to the right. Breathe through the neck. Keep the spine long if you can. Inhale, press into that right hand, coming back with the arms over the head, and then settle the shoulders. Give yourself a cleansing breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale to bring this left hand over outside of the left thigh, bending that left elbow and reaching the right fingertips over towards the right. Keeping the spine long and awareness to the jaw. Did you just want to clench your teeth there as some of this spine compresses, as well as the right side body opens up? So lots going on here. Give it one more breath. Inhale, arms rise back up. Exhale, bring those palms down in front of the heart. Bow chin to chest. Keep the spine long, heart shines forward. Breathe 2 breaths. Beautiful. You can bend those knees, and we're going to swing ourselves over into a table. And I've got my trusty blanket, so I'm going to put that under my knees. I invite you to do the same. If you don't have a yoga blanket, no worries. You could use that big, fat beach towel, or you could even get a pillow off the couch or out of a chair. Whatever works for you, just to have a little comfort under those knees. So we've brought some awareness to the wrists, but I want to give just a little bit more. So first, let's make sure that the fingers are spread nice and wide, and those wrists are right under the shoulders. We're not going to lock the joints of the elbows, but we are going to shine the eye of the elbow forward towards the top of your mat. So keep just a little bit of give right there in the joints of the elbows. Reach through the crown of the head, and then we're going to start to spin the fingers towards the outside edges of the mat. Be nice and gentle with yourself. And if you feel like you went past a comfortable place, come back. If this is too much, just hang with me for another moment and we'll move on to something else. Bring those fingertips all the way back, pointing towards the top of your mat, and find that length through the spine. We'll move into some cat-cow from here. So we'll inhale nice and deep in through the nose, reaching the crown and the tailbone up towards the sky. Feel that stretch through the throat and the belly. And then exhale, let's round it in. Chin comes down towards chest. Pelvis rounds in. We look like scaredy cats. And then let's inhale and rise all the way back up. So that's the movement. Rounding up and in, and using the breath to guide the movement. Keeping the breath in and out through the nose, and just emptying out that container, squeezing the breath out of the inside of your body as you round everything in. Nice and slow. Give it 3 more rounds wherever you are. So if you're in the middle of the round, give yourself 3 more complete rounds, not counting this one. And at the end of your third round, I invite you to bring those knees wide towards the outside edges of your mat. Sink the hips back. Let the belly just fall right between the thighs. Rest the arms on the mat and breathe. If it's too much to keep the arms extended long, feel free to bend elbows, stack fists, or just palms, and rest your forehead in any way that serves. Breathe into the upper back body. Continue to soften as you feel the outside of the hips expanding just a bit. Softening where you can. Slowly bring yourself back up to table. And then we're going to bring those knees right back under the hips. So when you do that, I'm going to invite you, if you have a blanket, we're going to move it. For our first flow is standing. We will need the blanket again, so don't throw it across the room. Keep it close. So once you move your blanket or beach towel or knee pad, whatever you have there, make your way back into your table. Reach through the crown of the head and go ahead and curl the toes. Take an inhale, and then exhale, lift the hips. So as you move into this first down dog, just scan the body, see what feels tight, what feels open. Send your awareness and your breath there. And allow yourself to pedal through the feet. Keeping as big of a bend in the knees as you need as you warm up the low back body. And if you feel like you're holding a lot of weight in your shoulders, then I invite you to really bend the knees a lot and send the hips back, really getting out of the shoulder blades. And give it one more breath. And let's start to walk those hands back towards feet and meet towards the back of our mats in a forward fold. Let's put a big bend in the knees. Let the head hang heavy. Take an inhale with me here. And then exhale, slowly let yourself rise up into your mountain. Closing the eyes, feeling the connection of your feet to the mat. Reaching those palms forward, or shining them forward rather. You don't have to reach them anywhere at this point. And really think about how you're feeling in your physical body, just standing here. So eyes are closed or soft gaze, just turning that awareness inward. So how do the feet feel connected? What's the position of the spine? How do the shoulders feel? Breathing in and out through the nose. Give it 2 more breaths. Take an inhale, reach the arms and the gaze up. And then exhale, bring those hands down in front of the heart. Bow chin to chest. And feel the expansion of the heart and the ribs. Beautiful. When you're ready, you can slowly lift your gaze so you can see me. We're going to leave the hands at the heart. So if you've practiced with me before, you probably know this one. It's one of my favorites. We're going to move through a little flow to start to deepen the stretch through the side body and get a little bit more warmth going through the legs. So we're going to inhale into a chair. And then exhale, send the arms and the gaze up towards the right, send the hips forward. Inhale into a chair. And then exhale, same thing, but over to the left. So moving just like that. And we're going to be here for a moment. So I invite you to get into the pattern of the breath, into the flow of the movement, and then explore what it would feel like to pause where you need to. Taking an extra breath. Reaching a little bit further as you lift the arms. Sinking a little bit deeper into chair. And continuing to move with the breath. So finish the round that you're in, and then give yourself 2 more. And wherever you are in your last round or so, I invite you to meet me with hands at the heart, chin bowed down towards chest, feet connected to the mat. Deep inhale through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Beautiful. All right, so here we are at the back of the mat. We've got the hands at the heart. Let's take an inhale, rise up, arms and gaze. Send the pelvis forward and squeeze the booty. Try not to lock the knees. Breathe, keep the eyes gazing towards the bottom of your palms. Beautiful. Inhale here. And exhale, bring those hands through the heart center, forward fold, all the way down. Feeling into the low back body. Head hangs heavy. Maybe rock forward and back on the feet here. Use blocks if your hands don't make it all the way to the floor. Just feeling into the loosening and the opening of the hamstrings. Keeping a little bend in the knees to protect that low back. We'll give it 1 more breath. Beautiful. Come on and take an inhale with me. And we're going to exhale all the way back up, finding that mountain, palms shine forward, feet connected, long spine, deep inhale through the nose. Sighing it out through the mouth. Inhale, arms and gaze rise. Exhale, palms come through heart center, bending those knees, coming into another forward fold, seeing how that feels, and then giving yourself a side-to-side sway this time. So hands again can be on the blocks if you need that extra support of having the hands connected to something. Notice the heaviness of the head. Maybe even shake the head a little bit. No, yes and no. Circle the neck. Whatever you need here to keep some softness. And we'll come back into stillness. Bend the knees. Take an inhale. And then exhale, slow rise. Let's come all the way up. We'll be back in that mountain. Palms shine forward. Deep inhale through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Beautiful. Take an inhale, arms and gaze, rise. And then exhale, bring those hands down in front of the heart. And we're going to turn all the way around where we're facing the back of the mat. And don't worry, I'm going to lead you through everything you need to do. So if you can't see me at this moment, just hang with me. You'll get it. It's super easy to do. Take an inhale, reach the arms and the gaze up. And exhale into a forward fold. And then when you get in that forward fold, step the left leg long down your mat, finding a low lunge. So give yourself a few breaths here just to feel into that. Maybe kind of straighten that right leg just a little bit and then sink the left hips just a little bit lower. Left hip rather. I don't think you have two left hips. If you need blocks on either side of that right foot so that you have a little bit more space to do this, do that. Just frame the right foot with blocks. Beautiful. Give it one more breath. And take an inhale. And then slowly, slowly, slowly let this left knee lower all the way down to the mat. Top of the foot comes to the mat. Hold it here, lunging forward, deepening that stretch through the left groin, reaching the crown of the head away, finding some space in the back of the neck. Curl your left toes, lift your hips, bring the right hand inside of the right foot. We're going to spin onto the long edge of our mats. So if you've got blocks, you shouldn't need them for this next little bit. You can just leave them right where they are. Let the head hang heavy, bend in the knees, feeling it into the low back body just a little bit deeper. All fingers and toes towards the long edge of the mat. We'll take an inhale, bend the knees, and then exhale, rise up. We'll be in a wide leg mountain, and we're going to bring the arms into a T. Spin on the heel of that right foot, send the toes back towards the right or the back side of your mat, and then slowly start to come into a warrior two. Same thing as that low lunge. Give yourself a couple of breaths here just to feel the foot lift and then connect with the mat, bending through the knee, settling in to warrior two. We'll flow from here. Left hand down to the left thigh. Inhale, right palm reaches up and over. Exhale, right elbow down to the right knee, nice and strong from elbow to shoulder. And then exhale to lift the left arm over towards the right. Inhale, side angle, reverse warrior. And then exhale, side angle. Moving nice and slow at your pace and keeping the breath in and out through the nose. And finish one more round with me. And then inhale back to your warrior two. Press into the right foot, straighten through the right leg, and go ahead and come back to the long edge of the mat. Take an inhale, reach the arms and the gaze up, palms come together, exhale, forward fold. Beautiful, feeling into that low back body, breathing in and out. We're about to do that whole sequence on the left side. So I invite you to bend a right knee, grab some blocks, bring them towards the top of your mat. Go ahead and start to walk those hands over towards the top of your mat and bend or spin on that left heel so the toes are touching or going towards the top of the mat. You're going to have to spin onto the ball of that right foot. Here's your low lunge. Breathe, breathe, breathe. You can use those blocks if you need to. Just feel into that. Give yourself some space and time here. Take an inhale. Slowly lower that right knee all the way down. Top of the right foot comes to the mat. Hold it one more breath. Curl the right toes to lift those hips. You can move blocks out of the way. We're coming back to the long edge of the mat. Forward fold. And bend those knees. Take an inhale. And slow exhale right into that mountain. We'll meet with the hands in a T. Spin that left heel so that your left toes go to the top of the mat. And we'll meet in a warrior two. Let's start to flow. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Give me 3 more. Moving with your breath. Pausing anywhere you need to. Stay with the breath. And we'll meet in that warrior two. Press through the left leg or left foot to straighten the leg. Spin onto the long edge of your mat. Take an inhale, reach the arms and the gaze up. And then exhale, palms come down in front of the heart, bow, chin to chest. Cleansing breath right here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Beautiful. Shimmy those feet together. We're going to meet in the center of the mat and face back towards the top of the mat. And take an inhale, arms and gaze rise. Exhale, forward fold. Walk hands forward, feet back. Find a down dog. And how do you feel now? How does the low back body feel? Give yourself about 3 more breaths. Go ahead and lower into a table. And our next flow will be from knees. So if you'd like to go ahead and get your blanket or your beach towel or your pillow or whatever you have and bring that back out for some comfort, go right ahead. We'll meet in a table. We're going to take an inhale, send the right leg long behind, and then go ahead and let it come through. If you have blocks, you may want them here for some space. So just frame the outside of the foot with a block on either side. Take a fresh breath. And then exhale, sink those hips forward. Deeper stretch through the groin. Find some space. So really reach through the spine. Crown up towards the sky. Go ahead and press into your blocks or to the floor. Send the hips back. And let that right heel come to the mat, but keep the toes lifted if you can. Keep a bend in the knee if you need to, and reach through the spine. Deep stretch to that right hamstring. Beautiful. Bring weight back to the right foot. Move the blocks out of the way. Hands can come to the mats and the hips back, and then bring that right knee back to meet the left. Gentle child's pose just for a moment. Reaching through the back to let it stretch for you there. And send the knees wide if that would serve. Coming back into table. Sending the left leg back long behind you. And then reaching it through, bringing blocks on either side of that left foot if you have them. Reaching long through the spine, take an inhale, and then start to lunge forward. Deeper stretch through that right groin, space in the spine, reaching the crown of the head towards the sky. Send the hips back, keep the left heel on the mat, but lift the toes if you can. Deeper length through the spine. Maybe even lift the blocks to give yourself even more space and reach the crown of the head away. Sending the heart towards that left knee, but we don't have to get anywhere close to it. Find the edge, don't go past it, and use your breath. Coming back to that left foot all the way connected to the mat, moving the blocks out of the way, and then send the hips back. Left knee comes back to meet right. Let's come down into another child's pose. Release where you can. Beautiful. Go ahead and meet me back in a table. So we've really been trying to warm up the low body. I want to give just a little bit more awareness to the thoracic spine as well as to the shoulders. So I invite you to meet me in a table, and we're going to get really heavy through this left wrist. So a lot of weight on the left wrist, pretty much none on the right. We're going to take an inhale, reach the right arm up towards the sky, and then exhale, let it thread through. Fresh breath, reaching the arm back up towards the sky, and then exhaling to thread it through. So I like to call this sewing machine. It's like thread the needle, but we don't hold the pose. And give it one more. And then lower that right hand down. Give yourself whatever you need here. I like to kind of send a shoulder forward and a hip back. Just getting anything out that may have just shown up in the body. If you're feeling any pressure on the low back, I can tell you that if you'll just tuck the tailbone in just a little bit and engage through your core, through your center, it'll be a little bit less taxing on the low back. All right wrist gets the weight. Fingers help out because they're spread nice and wide, light on this left hand. Take an inhale, reach it up, and exhale to thread it through. Two more. Last one. Beautiful. Coming back into that table and then letting yourself sit back into a child's pose. And this one might be nice to take wide knees, more space. And give it one more breath. Go ahead and meet me back in your table when you're ready. Now we're going to do that same kneeling flow that we just did, but we're going to kick it up just a notch now that we've warmed up the spine a little bit more and opened through the shoulders. You'll see. So have blocks handy. If you don't have access to blocks, grab a thick book. Something is stable and sturdy, a block of wood, whatever you got. All right, so here we go. We're going to send this right leg back, and then we're going to step it forward. We're going to get this left block and then the right. Hold it just like this. Reach through the crown of the head, lengthen through the spine, and then slowly start to send the hips back, letting that right heel stay on the mat and the right toes lift. You're going to take weight onto that left wrist. So I'm going to bring my block back just a little bit, make it as high as you need it to be. And then we'll take an inhale and reach the right arm up towards the sky. So we're in this odd shape, similar to a triangle, opening through the shoulder, straightening through the leg, and shining the heart over to the right. We've also got some balance and core stability going on here. Let's hold it 2 more breaths. You got it. Slowly lower that right hand and bend the right knee. Move blocks out of the way. We're going to then have both hands on the floor, send the hips back. Right knee comes back to meet left. Reset those hands into your table and then shimmy the hips. Wag the dog, whatever you need to do here. Beautiful. Let's do the other side. I'm going to turn around just so I feel like I don't have my back to you, but you stay just like you are. All right, left leg extends long, and then step the left foot through. Bring those blocks on either side of the foot. Hold here, lengthening through the spine, reaching the crown away. And then we'll start to find that left heel as we walk the blocks back just a little bit. I'm going to have my hand on this right block. Releasing anything on the left block, take an inhale, reach the left arm up towards the sky. And breathing in and out. Last one. Beautiful. Slowly start to bend that left knee. Bring your hands back to the blocks and then move the blocks out of the way. Send that left hip back. Send the left knee back to meet the right. And give yourself a child's pose. And in this child's pose, maybe use one of the blocks for your forehead to rest on and let the arms come back long near the legs. So the shoulders really drape down towards the floor. Shoulder blades feel open. And let the breath travel there. Give it one more breath. Beautiful. Slowly let yourself rise back up. You can move the blocks over to the side. I encourage you to have a block that you can reach. So I'm going to take one of my blocks. That's all you need is one. And then put it maybe at like where the center of my mat is. I'm going to move my blanket out of the way. We're done with that, at least for this class anyway. So you can move that. You can throw it now. Go ahead and let yourself come down onto your back again. But keep those knees bent. Have the block close. Go ahead and find that equal sign that I introduced earlier where the chin is in line with the shoulders. And let the hands just come down long on either side of the hips. Palms face down, shoulders relax. Maybe close the eyes or have a soft gaze and reconnect with your breath. How are you feeling in your body now? What's different? What's the same? This is like a little mini Shavasana. Just allow yourself to take in any sensations that you're feeling from within your physical body. Beautiful. Slowly reach out, find that block. You're going to press into your feet to lift your hips just enough to let that block come on its lowest setting, so on the smallest setting, right at the triangle point of your sacrum. And then as you release your body weight back onto the block, you should feel a little bit of an opening through the pelvis. Now, sometimes this puts a little pressure on other places in the body. So I like to use the back of my head to press into the mat to lift my shoulders up and then slowly lower them back down just creating a little bit more space. Keep that equal sign with the chin and the shoulders. Feel into the low body. What does the low part of your body need? Are those knees good how they are? Could they shimmy in a little bit towards one another? What do you need right here for this restorative bridge? Soften the breath, soften the face. Give it 4 more breaths. I invite you to bring just a little bit of awareness to the space. It's easy to really get into restoration mode with that restorative bridge. So bring some awareness to your physical body. I invite you to press into the feet just enough to lift the hips, to move the block, to lower back down, to bring the knees up towards your heart or on the outside of the ribs. Let the knees be met by the hands resting gently at the base of the kneecaps. And then give yourself a little side to side sway. Take the next couple of minutes to give yourself whatever I didn't offer. So maybe there's a happy baby. Maybe there's a shoulder stand or a plow. Maybe there's nothing. It's your practice. These last few minutes are just for you to get any wiggles out. Bring awareness and intention to anywhere that I did not, or any part of your body that could use just a little bit more awareness. And then as you're ready, I invite you to find some stillness. You could even move over to a wall and sling your legs up the wall like we started at the beginning of class with just the legs loosely pointing up. You could rest them on a couch or a chair, on a coffee table. But then let everything soften. Find a deep inhale through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. And allow yourself to rest. You can slowly start to begin to bring some awareness back into this space that we have created together. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Wrists and ankles. Reach your arms up over your head. Give yourself a full body stretch. And then allow yourself to roll on to one side or the other, much like we began at the beginning of class. But allow yourself just to feel completely supported for just another moment. Use that top arm to press that hand into the floor. Bring yourself back up to a comfortable seat. We'll meet there together with hands at heart center in prayer, chin bowed down towards chest. Our quote for today is from Mary Oliver. She wrote, "If you suddenly and unexpectedly feel joy, give into it. Whatever it is, don't be afraid of its plenty. Joy is not made to be a crumb." May you know joy. May you know kindness. And may you be kind. And until we meet together again, gratitude for practicing with me today. Namaste.